Nick Mason, you had mentioned on your podcast that there was a new Pink Floyd song that came out, and
Yes.
and you were in the studio, and you mentioned that it wasn't until Nick Mason sat behind the kit that's like, oh, we have Pink Floyd here.
Yeah.
What was it? What was that?
There's a thing with Nick, and it's really interesting because Nick is now getting this appreciation amongst drummers in the same way as it kind of came to Rick Wright quite late from keyboard players, but he's getting this appreciation now in the same way as Ringo didn't get it, and for years when suddenly all these musicians are going, hang on a minute, because that Nick has this because drummers lose their minds over Nick now, and he's got a, and I've played with him so long I've kind of taken it for granted. You know what a privilege. He just has this loping time thing, which is fantastic, which is what makes things Pink Floyd. It's like it's just so, I don't know, oozy and sexy. Bill Bruford said a really funny thing, because the joke with Pink Floyd is it's always is that everything is so slow. And my joke is, David Gilmour was the only person I've ever played with who actually slows down live rather than speeds up, and nothing is actually ever slow enough. So if Comfortably Numb was played at the tempo he wants it, I'd still be at the Albert Hall from 2016. Bill Bruford said, when he was on our podcast, said the thing with Pink Floyd is they're not actually as slow as you think they are, which I thought was a really interesting observation.
Yeah, I mean, it can be those tom-tom fills when we know we've got to come in on beat one as it ends, can be quite glacial, can't they? And that's actually the beauty of it, I think.
Yeah. But in the other way, so the Syd Barrett songs are kind of like something like Bike is uncountable. Every verse is completely different. And it's bad. And Gary and I had to rack our brains because we've got to sing it. You've got to pay attention. Da, 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 da. To Nick, it's nothing. Just sails straight through it.